What do every man want today? Well, that's simple. All men want to look and perform, and not just men, but the women as well want all men to look and perform like an athlete. It's the truth, right? Six pack, a little bit of muscle, not too much, some veins. Anyway, but here's the truth though. Here's the truth about obtaining it. We're out here on my farm, never spend the entire year, all 365 days in a city. It's a great way for you to not only lose your mind, but to lose your muscles. So, anyways, here's the truth, okay? The actual truth and reality is that the average man today is weaker, slower, and softer than any generation before, already putting him at a deficit or in a negative starting block or position. You know what I'm trying to say. So anyways, did you know that the average man, because I wanted to give you some reference or some stats in case you weren't tracking, it's beautiful out here, in case you weren't tracking what's actually going on today in the great country of which I love. So the average American man in his 30s has 20% less total testosterone than his grandfather did at the same age. Think about that. And that 1 in every 3 men today are legitimately obese. So chances are, if you're listening to this video right now, you are in a negative starting point. You are already set up to lose, which is why I came up with these 9 steps that you can take, the public can take, and run away with. My contribution to America, to American men. Because I'm investing my hard-earned money, more or less, on these ads to send them out to thousands of men all across the great country I love to help them out. Because I'm just sick and tired of the BS. I'm sick and tired of the BS. I'm sick of seeing out of shape, weak, fat men that just don't know what they're doing. And fat to me is if you're above 15% body fat, you are fat. It is what it is. You don't need to be ripped, 6%, but you do need to be 10% is where you need to be as a man, okay? So, and I'm going to help you get there with these 9 steps. So anyways, as I was saying, 1 in every 3 men, obese, blah, 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 blah. This is what we're up against, guys. So the modern men want to perform and look like these athletes, these kings, but they're not in a position to win. They're not. And it sucks. And it's sad. And that's probably why you're not seeing any of the results that you crave, is because there are things that are limiting you that you don't even know about. So anyways, let's get into it. The 9 steps that you need to perform and look like an animal athlete, as you see, which is what we do, animal business athlete. That's what I am. So step 1, train with purpose. Most of you are going to the gym. You're following ChatGPT, bullshit workouts, programs that some YouTube influencer probably doesn't even follow. You're not seeing any results because you're not training with intention as an athlete would. So that's number 1. You got to train with intention. Every rep is a brick in a wall. Every session must build on the last. You get what I'm saying. And this is how you're going to separate yourselves from the 80% of men who quit after 3 months, after the new year, new me, and it's coming up. Again, it happens every year, right? Every year, it just, the same guys, whether it's summer or January, it happens twice a year. Guys want to get in shape and they say the same stuff, bro, and nothing changes. Number 2, you must fuel yourself like an animal. I got cattle here on my farm. This is a 100% organic, grass-fed, regeneratively raised farm where we rotationally strip graze our animals, and we move them to new, fresh pasture or paddocks every single day. It's great for the soil, it's great for the grass and the plants, and it's great for the cattle, and it's great for me. So, anyways, you need to eat like an animal. What does an animal eat like? An animal eats for performance. An animal doesn't eat for comfort. For me, that's an animal-based diet, right? Animal hybrid diet, clean carbs, lots of red meat, some eggs, fruit, potatoes, honey, electrolytes to keep me firing, blah, blah, blah. Compared to the average man, it's a really healthy diet. 60% of the world is consuming an ultra high processed diet, high fructose corn syrup, seed oils, the whole nine. Let's stay away from those. You can't run a tractor on gas, gentlemen. It runs on diesel. Same goes for your body. Number 3, you must recover like a professional. What do I mean by that? You have to take recovery seriously. There's a lot of you that are out here that are training really hard, right? And you're grinding away, your ass in the gym, but the growth happens when you recover, bro. You rip the muscles in the gym, and then when you go home and you sleep and you do everything outside the gym correctly, that's when you grow. And that's how you're going to see the results. So 35% of men in America today, they're not even getting 6 hours of sleep. So it's a shame. That's why we have these issues. Number 4, mobility equals longevity. You can't expect to have a lot of muscle with no mobility because you're not going to have longevity. It's important to stretch. It's important to foam roll. It's important to get on a lacrosse ball and roll out your feet. I still do these things every single day. No matter how fit you get or how strong you get, you still have to partake in the necessary things in order to, take care of your body. Because if you break, you're going to quit. Whereas me, I'm supple, I'm loose, I feel good. I'm going to be able to do this for a lot longer. Number 5, explosive power. Explosive power is extremely important, right? Sprints, jumping, throwing, heavy object moving, hills. Think about it. The average NFL player can jump over 35 inches in vertical height. Okay, you can't even jump 20. So there's a massive gap. And that massive gap is the difference between the nice athletic quads and the skinny legs, the skinny quads. 6, condition yourself like a fighter. Conditioning is extremely important. What good is having all this muscle? What good is having all this muscle if you are not in shape and you're breathing and huffing and puffing every time you go upstairs? So you need to do zone 2. You need to be in shape. You need to build an engine so that you can train harder, recover faster, and not gas out or get sick. I very rarely get sick, guys, because my aerobic capacity and conditioning is so high. 7, I would say mental discipline, fortitude. Motivation is crap. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation is not real. You need something that is real, and that is what discipline is. Discipline is what is doing the things you don't want to do. I've just been doing this for so long. It doesn't even cross my motherfucking mind. I just do it. I just do. There are a lot of you out here that say, well, I don't want to do it. Neither do I. Well, I don't feel like doing it. Neither do I. Number 8, stress creates growth, okay? There's a book by Daniel Lieberman. I cannot remember the name, but in the book, he has several chapters on talking about how stress is directly correlated to gains, right? So since the time we were a child, what do? It's just a progression of stressing ourselves. You go from crawling to walking to running to sprinting to jumping to lifting. So, since when you come out of college, you're 21, 22, you just stop it all? Or even maybe sooner than that. Some of you are probably sitting there, I haven't worked out since PE class when I was in high school. So don't stop stressing the body. Nature understands this very well, right? Right here on our farm, by going through and grazing the grass in the way that we do, we are putting stress on the ecosystem. So it's all about stress. No stress, no gain. Lastly, I would say you have to understand that fitness is the game of retention, not acquisition. Just like business and making money, we're playing the long game. Fitness is the long game. This isn't the short game. You cannot expect to have an amazing physique overnight. It just takes time. And it is the power of discipline and the principles of things that you do not do or say no to, which are ultimately going to provide you with the physique and lifestyle that you want. So play the long game. Performance or even aesthetics, like I said, they're not built in weeks. It could take months, even potentially years. Fortunately for you, I have many systems and blueprints that will be able to teach you and help you get there much faster, right? And I call it my stupid, simple 3-day animal shred for a reason, because it can help get you there much faster. Once you have all the right tools, the right measurements, the right metrics, the right things to track, the right things to do, the right people to talk to, it becomes very simple. Is it easy? No, but it's simple. It's being simple and easy, they're two different things. You must understand that as a high level athlete or man. If you look at any professional sports team, they go through these seasons. It's all about progression, man. There are many roads to Rome. It's enough on that. So enough on that. Play the long game. So in closing, what does this all mean? What does this all mean? My 9 steps. What does it all mean? So this isn't just about being fit. This is about becoming useful in life. And sometimes as men, we might need strength. Other times we need explosiveness. Other times, maybe you're on a date with a girl. Maybe aesthetics are a little bit more important. So we have to have it all. We have to be the full package. You must become this man in demand, in high demand. And the only way to do it is to apply these principles, these 9 steps. It's worked very well for me. And it's worked very well for several other athletes that I currently work and train with at an extremely high level. So unfortunately, most of you will probably just keep living the same life and will probably never apply any of this. I know. But I find it almost comical that you will sit here and listen to the end of this video and still do nothing. So don't be that guy. Change, make a difference, follow these 9 steps. You can do it. I mean, imagine if I didn't do it when I was younger, you wouldn't even hear me talking to you today through this device, aka iPhone. But when you do take this stuff seriously and you finally decide to apply what I've just taught you, you will then rise to the cream of the top, because the cream of the top always rises to the top. That's the whole point of the saying. The cream will always rise to the top. If you look at dairy, right, because I have a neighbor that does grass-fed dairy, it's the same thing. The cream will always rise to the top. So if you want to go to the top, this is how to do it. Follow the 9-step framework that I've just laid out for you, and you can be in the top 1%. There aren't that many guys that are both ripped and rich. You can do it. Anyways, I got to move these cattle. I got to run. I got to go. I'm actually hitting a bike ride. I'll probably do 30 miles on my road bike later today. So let me get in here. Let me move these guys. But if you're ready to finally just stop working out, like on your own, bro, because there's several of you in here that will be like, dude, I really like the 9-step system. I'm going to take it and run away with it. But there are others of you that maybe you do want to like really go all in on this and finally see results and change, because it's almost guaranteed. Like it's just how the world works, guys. You're just taught things, right? You're just taught things. Like think about as a child when you're going through school. Who taught you how to write and read English? You didn't teach yourself. And there was no ChatGPT. So you had teachers, you had mentors, and that's exactly what this is. I'm going to teach you how to do it. There's information somewhere on this page below. I have a lot of employees between the farm and my real estate portfolio. I manage a massive real estate portfolio up in town. So it's somewhere on this page, buried down in there. Take a look. If not, I hope you got something out of my 9-step system, method, framework, whatever you want to call it. But if you are ready to go to that next level and you are ready to have a plan lined up and laid out for you, click down below. All I do is train and coach myself and my clients and give them amazing results. So I'm going to move these cows, and then I'm going to hop on the bike, and I will see you inside, or maybe not, who knows. But please at least take a look. It's worth your time to at least see what we have to offer to you when it comes to programming, planning, nutrition, and access to me. So I'm going to move these guys, and then I will catch you guys later.